But what it was all about is abundance is more than financial.
Mm-hmm.
Abundance is health. Abundance is gratitude. Abundance is so many facets of abundance. When people sometimes think about abundance, they think about one facet of that particular word or that label that we just mentioned. Same thing with success. Success is more than just money. Success is feeling good about who you are. Success is now showing up. The success to me is now transference of energy that help other individuals that to move their lives. Success to me is love what I do.
So, Curtis, I know that you've shared your transition out of the financial planning before, but what I want to go is like a little bit deeper.
Okay.
Not the like resume version, but like the real moment. You know what I'm talking about, like that real moment. Like was there a time that you just questioned everything? A moment that where something cracked open in you and a client in your world and that you just knew the work was more of a calling and not a career pivot. Can you take us there? Like what shifted and what did it cost you to say yes to it?
Wow, that's a great question. That's a great question, Shay. What it was is that, and this is interesting because my journey actually started 40 years ago.
Four
So
zero?
I, four zero.
Okay.
Yeah. So the pivot was when I first got started, I wanted to be a motivational speaker. I was studying all the greats at that time. When Tony Robbins first started, we did the Far Walk. I did Zig Ziglar. I did Jim Rohn. I did Tom Hopkins. All of those individuals that most people probably not heard of.
All the OGs. Come
All
on.
the OGs. That's what I
Yes.
studied. And I wanted to be like, I wanted to be here. And I wanted to be a motivational speaker. Then I got in financial services and I was so successful. I never got out for 40 years. And then one day, I was in a position to walk away. And I was about to sign another contract to be a manager or be a mentor and all this. And then I'm like, no, I can't do it. And I just said, when my wife had a conversation, and the conversation was, won't you do what you've always wanted to do? That was transform people's lives, help people move to the next level. And that moment, I remember I just stopped.
Mm.
And see, people have to understand now, I was in financial services. I'm certified as a certified financial planner. I'm a CHFC, CLU. I had Series 6, Series 7,
You
all
have
of these,
all of the
all
acronyms, all the little three
all the
letters.
numbers that goes along with it. So
Yeah.
when I said I quit, that means that all the years of work that I put in to get those licenses goes away. And I was willing to do that. I
Mm.
was willing to say, okay, now enough is enough. Let me do what I'm truly passionate about and do what I'm doing now.
That's amazing. That's so fantastic. And I'm sure amazing that your wife was like, stop doing this and do what you actually want to do. Like, I don't want to listen to you talk about financial stuff anymore. You're not happy, right?
Well, it's like something that's one of the challenges that most people have in when they're doing transitions, right? Is that they are good at doing something and it's easy for them to do, but that does not mean that they have a passion for it.
Yeah.
I was doing it and I could do it well, and I just did it with my eyes closed, and I could coach other individuals in doing it, but it wasn't one of those things that kind of wake you up early and keeps you up late and like, why you do what you're doing. That was not what it was for me.
Mm, mm. Okay. Well, I know that one of the things I love about your work is that it's not just mindset fluff. It's
No.
like a method. And I'm sure probably your financial pieces come into play here on having
Yeah.
a method. It's neuroscience, it's healing. Can we kind of take people under the hood here and like what's actually going on when someone steps into transformation with you?
Wow. That's a great question. What happens is that I have a framework in which I work. Like you said, it is a framework. I like frameworks. I like processes. And the framework I coach from is what I call legit mindset, which is learning, growing, expanding, and transforming. So, but through that method, the first thing we try to do is release any negative emotions and limiting beliefs that the individual have. If we think about it like this, is that most coaches start with goal setting. Well, one of the challenges with that I've seen is that if a person sets goals with baggage, that means that they're going to have goals that have baggage. So I was always coached on, let's get rid of all the baggage first. Then let's set a vision, which is growing, expanding, growing. And then we start to expand by now taking inspired action. Then we condition the mindset that's the transformational part, by conditioning a new mindset. So that's kind of the process we kind of go through high level. Now, when you ask me another question, I tell you really deep as far as what I do, because what I do a mixture of about 3 to 4 modalities. I'm a master practitioner in neuro-linguistic programming. That's what Tony Robbins does. I am also a master practitioner in mental and emotional release, which is a powerful technique that get rid of negative emotions in less than 10 minutes. And then the next one is that I incorporate integral hypnotherapy for conditioning, so that now we're talking directly to the subconscious mind and not to the conscious mind. So all the changes that we're making is not just me telling you or you telling me what you want to do. Now we're going to go in and program that so that now you can do it easily and effortlessly. And now you can have a more of a permanent change of doing so.
So what exactly does like a transformation actually look like when you're doing a session with somebody then?
It looks like they come in with me. We normally do, if we're doing an actual 3-month process, it's normally 3 months.
Yeah.
The first 2.5 hours, we're doing nothing but releasing negative emotions and limiting beliefs, whatever they may be. So we do something cognitive where I'm asking you, okay, what was this the root cause of this problem? What was it? When did it happen? What was happening during your life at that time? So what we're looking for the greater problem. Most people come to me with issues. Issues are just what we call issues. However, the greater problem is the problem that is the biggest problem that's causing all of these issues that they're actually experiencing. So if we can we figure out what the greater problem is, then the other issues will go away along with the greater problem. Give you an example, even for me personally. An example is about 6 weeks, 4-6 weeks ago, I was still having a mental block, just like most people have. I go through this stuff just like everybody else does. So I was going through a block, and I was kept getting this thought that success is hard and difficult. Success is hard and difficult. That was kind of first coming up. And every time I look back on my financial services career, I would hit a plateau, and then I would hit a block, success is hard and difficult. Even though it was easy for me, I kept hitting this block. And now I'm doing this, and I was coming up with the same thing. So I called one of my buddies over, and we did a quick session of mental and emotional release. Took about 10 minutes. We figured out what came up for me was my subconscious told me that it was around age 2 when I accepted and decided this belief that success is hard and difficult. So what we do, we allow a person to kind of float above their timeline, look down on the event, and gather up all the emotions that are tied to that event. Then we reframe them. So success, instead of success is hard and difficult, I looked at the event now with a 60-year-old mind with resources and said, oh, I'm persistent, I'm consistent, and I'm strong. This is the catch. This is what I want everybody to get. I tested it. I called my mom after this session. I said, Mom, what was happening in my life at age 2? She said, oh, baby, your baby sister was being born, and you were around 2. And so I was potty training you around 18 months. And this is what she said. And it was hard and difficult for you to be potty trained.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
That's fascinating.
So basically the same message that I had come up with here and during the session, not knowing anything about that, because I was curious myself, not knowing what was the root cause of it. So the difference is this. If I would have had a traditional coaching session, I would have said success was hard and difficult. I would say, when was the last time you felt like success was hard and difficult? They would say, oh, then, okay, well, let's reframe that moment, what we call a significant emotional event. Well, the challenge with that sometimes that because I didn't get to the root, it's going to grow back.
Mm-hmm.
But now we pull up the root. That means we have a better chance of 99% chance of it not coming back because we got the root and not just what I call a significant emotional event.
Yeah. So how do you handle the skepticism from maybe some left brain thinkers or some high performers that are like, really, I gotta go back and like look at what I was doing at 2 years old in order to make it so I can hit this next goal I want to in my business?
But that's a great question. Well, because first, I guess in sales, I learned one of the biggest things I've learned in sales is people have to like and trust you, right?
Yes.
So if they like and trust you, they're going to trust the process. And so normally I have never gotten any pushback as far as what we do. And the beautiful part about all of this, what I'm sharing with you, is that it's very non-evasive. It's not. It's not like I'm saying, okay, what happened? I'm not really going into the past. What I'm doing is actually lighting up the neural networks so that now your subconscious mind can easily find these emotions and feelings and thoughts. You don't have to know what happened, but every thought and feeling is on your timeline. It is in the subconscious, is in your neural network, so that once we kind of light it up, your subconscious mind just goes to it. Boom, it just goes. So it's not like, it's not like 10 years of therapy when I'm talking about the same stuff over and over again. No, we're talking about 10 minutes of actually finding it, asking your subconscious mind, what's the root cause, the first event in which we can allow this release easily and effortlessly? Was it before, during, or after birth? Quickly, what's the answer? That's how quick it is.
Gotcha.
And they just come out with an answer.
Yeah. So if somebody's listening and they're like, I don't know if I have any unprocessed emotional traumas, like how is it showing up in a high achieving individual's life right now?
Usually, two things happens. Number one, all of us have blind spots. Everybody.
Yeah.
Now, the difference is that my blind spot may not be preventing me from going to the next level. So, taking me as an example again, I had a blind spot. If it's not preventing me from now expanding my business and doing more for individuals and doing more for the world, then it's not a problem. It's like, oh yeah, okay, this bottle is gray. It's okay, I'm with it. I can live with it or not, right?
Yeah.
However, if I said, man, every time I come to this gray bottle, I just freak out. I have anxiety. Or now I've gotten to a point in my career where something is blocking me from now going to the 6-figure, 7-figure level. I don't know what it is. I just feel like something is preventing me from doing that. That's an indication of a true blind spot that I want to move, but for some reason or another, I just can't figure out what it is.
Yeah. Okay. That totally makes sense. If we could, I'd like to kind of start asking you a couple of questions in regards to scaling and systems and support. I know firsthand personally, like how tricky it is to scale deep work.
Yes.
You've you've personally built something that is powerful and it's intimate, but you're also building a business, right?
Yes.
Like, let's be real.
Yes.
Let's talk about how you're scaling transformation without losing the depth. And I also have to ask you this, like, have you ever imagined what your work could look like in a room? Like I could totally see your process creating incredible freaking breakthroughs in like a retreat or an immersive setting.
Oh, absolutely. Both. I mean, okay, let's start with the first question.
First one. Yeah.
Okay, the first one is when I first started this business, right? I'm doing the business and I'm like, how can I scale it?
Right.
Because everything that I do is very intimate, meaning like I do, the name of my company is Bespoke Human Potential Coaching, right? That means that whoever comes to me, I'm coming to you or I'm meeting you wherever you are on your journey and we're figuring out based on who you are. Well, lately I've been testing a lot of different things. And I just created a new download on YouTube. It's called Anxiety Reframe, where a person can go in and I do a quick timeline with them, they can reframe an event that they feel like they have anxiety over less than 10 minutes. And I created that, just created that. And what I'm creating now is what I'm doing is meeting people where they are.
Mm-hmm.
Because one of the challenges that most people have when with my type of coaching is that it's me, and me, I can get expensive for some people. That means they can't afford what I do. So wherever they are, we can still share with some type of transformation for them. What I'm thinking now, going into a big room, I can still give people tools
Mm-hmm.
in order for them to go to the next level.
Mm-hmm.
They may not be able to go as deep as they can with me personally, but they can get some movement in their journey. And that's what's important.
Yeah, yeah, I totally see that's probably a simpler way to scale and leverage what it is you're doing is having those intimate group type of situations, retreats, immersive settings, all of those pieces, and still move the room
Yes,
and getting feedback back and forth. Yeah.
yes,
And still get great results, right?
yes.
Because it's your method, it's the process.
It's the process,
Yeah.
and and then we talk about things that people can do, on their own. I mean, one of the things that I do with my clients is that I create for them what I call a bespoke daily mental supplement. What is that? Basically, that's a personal meditation based on the work that we've done in that particular session, all the learnings that they've gotten from it, all the new aha moments that they have created. I'm now putting in like a little mini meditation hypnosis session so that they can now listen to it over and over again and continue to condition that belief so that
Mhm.
I'm not there. I had a coach that I just came out of a coaching process myself, and she would contact me every day. I'm like, there's no way I can freaking contact people every day. First of all, that's not in my makeup. That's not that's not my
It's a
jam.
bit much.
That's a bit much. I'm like, oh my God, I couldn't do that. However, if we're doing a 3 month session, we come week to week, and during the week, I give you exercises, and then I give you these recordings so that now we can condition the behavior. So it's on and off type thing.
Yeah, yeah, I totally hear that. Okay. So let's talk about like continuing down the business side. We have a lot of business owners in the space that
Okay.
listen to the podcast here. I want to talk about voice and visibility because your presence in the space is super grounded and it's real. Like you can
Yes.
tell just by connecting with you. What's been really the most powerful for you in building your authority and trust with high level clients?
I think what I've just kind of gone through
Yeah.
is being authentic. I remember I'm kind of, getting kind of emotional about it because of the fact it's personal. What I mean is that I was born and raised in Mississippi. I'm a country boy from Mississippi. Obviously, you can see I'm an African American. I was born in the 60s in Mississippi. So, kind of filling the gaps from me. And so, I've always, and then I was born in a Christian family. My dad was a fire and brimstone preacher. So, I went to church on every Sunday, every Wednesday. And I always had to put on this face, this persona. It's like, when I went to school in high school, I went to school with the tie and with a handkerchief, with my shoes. I never wore tennis shoes, even though I ran track and stuff in high school. But during the school day, I would like have this persona, like, you know, just tight, uptight,
Yeah.
just, but that was not who I really was. And finally, I said, you know what? I'm just going to be Curtis. I'm going to be authentic to who I am. I think for business owners, one of the best, and then I start writing based on that.
Mm.
And man, it just people started to attract to me even more because now they feel and sense that authenticity that everybody's looking for. And so that's one of the things I tell, just be you, just be honest, just be authentic.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I agree. I mean, a lot of my clients are speakers, coaches, experts, and when they're telling their story and when they're being honest and authentic, that's what draws people to them
Yeah.
energetically, and they can see themselves in that person,
Yes.
right? Do you feel that your podcast, through your podcast, has really helped you grow that credibility and reach as well?
I think the podcast has helped. I think when I hired this coach about 6 to 8 weeks ago, too, I mean, that helped a whole lot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that helped because, and that's what people don't understand. Coaches need coaches, and people need coaches because well, think about it like of a professional athlete, right? At the level of LeBron James or when Kobe Bryant was with us, or all of these guys, right? All these great guys, they all had coaches still, right? And so it's important because one of my podcasters shared this with me. She says, you cannot see the label when you're inside. You can't read the label when you're inside the jar.
Yeah.
It's like so for me, it's so important that we have that perspective. So yeah, I think the podcast has helped. When I got the coach, it was the other little tipping thing. You're like, okay, what else? What is it that? Then it's like, and then what she encouraged me to do was take off the mask. Take
Mm,
off the mask.
mm,
And for that to me was just totally freeing.
mm. That's love it. I know I've heard you say that transformation isn't just about results, it's about identity. Um, and I know you probably take your clients often through some big internal shifts.
Yes.
Would you mind kind of pulling back the curtain on what real success can look like?
Real success. I was in the process now of recording about abundance. And then because me and my wife was like, okay, we need to do something for myself. I do something for everybody else. Want you to do something for yourself? And I recorded this for myself, but I'm going to release it soon. But what it was all about is abundance is more than financial.
Hmm.
Abundance is health. Abundance is gratitude. Abundance is so many facets of abundance. When people sometimes think about abundance, they think about one facet of that particular uh, word or that label that we just mentioned. Same thing with success. Success is more than just money. Success is feeling good about who you are. Success is now showing up. The success to me is now transference of energy that help other individuals that to move their lives. Success to me is love what I do, but love for me means transference of energy that connects to the heart. So when you think about success, money is definitely important. And I'm looking at my values right now. Money should be in your top 5 values. I was coaching an individual yesterday, and we did their values, and money was out of 8. Money was number 8, and the question I asked for him of them was, "Are you making money?" No. Have you have a problem making money? Absolutely. Well, and one of the reasons is because the value for money is too low. So basically, success is understanding who you are and now aligning your life so that you can just be the best version of yourself.
Hmm. Yeah, brilliant. I know you've built something really super powerful, and I also know that you're not done.
No, no, no.
Let's get to the edge, Curtis, here. Like, what is the next evolution? What are you calling forward right now?
Basically, I'm calling for it to be seen.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, it was interesting. Is that I feel like I still have the best kept secret that no one knows. It's like one of those things. Is like, okay, I know what I can do. I know what I do is been scientifically proven, right? It's not just. I'm not talking about fluff. I mean, some of the things that I'm able and capable of doing, it has been proven. They've done tests in like an 80, 98 to 93 to 98 percentile of being successful over and over and over again. So high. So I know that, but they don't know that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so the next level is really just taking my practice to the next level, letting people understand, and it's a lot of things I do. Some people are maybe a little bit afraid of because they don't understand it. So
Yeah.
basically, educating individuals so they can know and understand what I do.
Do you happen to have like an example or a story of somebody that you've worked with that has shifted their mindset, has shifted their abundance, has shifted all of the pieces that they were kind of working on that you could share with us just to give us an idea of what it could look like?
Yeah, I mean, I just finished some work with the individual that when they came, um, everything was in shambles. I mean, literally everything was in shambles. And now they they just got the next opportunity of six-figure income. They are now uh, just flourishing because of the fact that in what they say, I'm using the word they so that we're not actually attracts who I'm actually talking with. But yeah, so basically their life is changed. I mean, I did I just the other day I posted a video on my Facebook page, and it was the reason I posted it was because my assistant's father had passed away, and I shared some words with her, and I said, it's okay to be, it's okay not to be okay, but it's not okay to pretend that you're okay or not.
Mm.
So whatever you need to cry, cry. If you need to scream, scream. If whatever you need to do, allow this energy to pass through you. Remember that a feeling is just an emotion that wants to communicate with you and leave. And I posted that because it was just like something I shared it with her, and then I posted it to the world. And one of my clients was on Facebook, and she's like, "This man changed my life. You need to talk to him. You need to really, it's like, no." Then I reminded her, no, I didn't do the changing. You did the changing. I did the facilitating.
Mhm.
I mean, you did all the changing. So a person comes to me, I try to make sure, because I don't take responsibility for the change, because I can do all the coaching in the world. You can choose not to change, right? So I reminded her, and I remind the world, is that I don't do any changing. Basically, I do have a lot of great tools and techniques to help you move your life forward. And you got to do the work. You got to show up, and you'll get the results.
Yeah, totally makes sense. Now, Curtis, I know your work definitely reminds us that success doesn't start with strategy, it starts with the subconscious.
Yes.
What's one truth every high performer needs to internalize today?
I would think one truth, if I had a truth, it would be probably what we went talked about before, just being true with yourself. I mean, one of the biggest challenges that we have, Shay, is that people are not honest with themselves. And that's why I think when I wrote that for that young lady and down to the world, is that it's okay not to be okay, especially for leaders. One of the major challenges that we have, and I know I've experienced it personally, is that I don't want to show, sometimes I don't want to let people know that I'm hurting, that I have a problem, that I have a blind spot. And so one of the challenges I would say, hey, be honest with yourself, because the mere fact when you realize or acknowledge that there is something that I need to improve on, the healing starts automatically. The subconscious mind starts to figure out ways and means and of how to actually start to move the process. So I would just say, just be honest with yourself.
For that person that is not wanting to reveal that they are hurting or that they have a blind spot, they know they have a blind spot, but they don't want to necessarily voice that they have a blind spot,
Mm-hmm.
then what? Then what do we do? How do we start moving it forward if they don't want to be like, yeah, I don't have everything together and I don't want to say it in my group mastermind.
Yeah, there's not much you can do.
Yeah.
I mean, the bottom line is, I think in Think and Grow Rich, he talked about the fact that when a person is ready to change, it's like they have this ardent desire to change, meaning like, I can't help but to want to change. It's like there's enough is enough in their life. I was meeting with a person this week, and at first he came to me, he didn't have all the money, and then we talked, and we did a mini session for him. He says, "Oh my God, this is like this is great. We could do it in a month." Then he called me back the next day and said, "No, I can do it. I'll find the money. I'll find a way because I want to change." And I tell people all the time, when I talk with an individual, I says, okay, from 1 to 10, where are you on wanting to change? I'm a 3. Okay, keep going until you get to around 7, 8, or 9, or 10.
Yeah.
Because 3s, number one, you mess up my track record.
Let's be real.
No, but you're not ready. I mean, you still have to come to the table. You still got to want to, right? I can't make you want to. I can't do that. I mean, you have to bring that to the table. And when you bring that to the table, we'll figure out a way. I have all of this stuff behind me. We'll figure out something to move you forward. But you got to say, yeah, I want to. I'm sick and tired and I want to change. And I'm tired of hiding. I'm ready to take off the mask. And I'm ready to do something about it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Curtis, thank you so much for being here today. What is the best way for people to connect with you? And do you happen to have a gift for our audience?
Absolutely. First of all, they can find me on all social media platforms. I have a YouTube channel. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Facebook. I'm on all the major social media platforms, and TikTok too. TikTok does really well. A lot of people love me on TikTok. So yeah, they can find me everywhere there. One of the things we're going to leave for them is that, like I said, I just completed what I call an anxiety reframe, and we'll have the link for them to they can go to YouTube and find it. It's called the anxiety reframe. And once they get there, there is an area they can do a free download of the workbook that goes along with it. And that will take them a long way. Really, really good. So I think that, or then we're also going to put into the show notes, they can have a free 15-minute clarity call with me just to say hi. I mean, there's no selling. Basically, I just want to, you just talk about it and see what we can do.
Yeah, I love it. Beautiful. So we will have the links to that in the show notes. And if you've felt something move in you during this episode, please go ahead and make sure that you book that call with him. And who knows, maybe you'll be one of the first people in the room when Curtis decides to bring this transformation to life at scale and be in the room with us, right? So don't forget to make sure that you share the episode with somebody who's ready to shift, and subscribe so you never miss what's next. Thank you again, Curtis, and we will see you all on another episode of Creating Powerful Impact. Take care. Thank you so much for listening to the Creating Powerful Impact podcast. If you are a successful coach, speaker, author, or thought leader who would like to be on this program, simply visit creatingpowerfulimpact.com/guest. If you are someone who got something out of this interview, would you please do me a favor and share this episode on social media? Just do a quick screenshot with your phone and text it to a friend or post it on your socials. Also, if you know somebody that would be a great guest, tag them on social media to let them know about the show and include the hashtag Creating Powerful Impact. I love seeing all of your posts and great guest selections. We are regularly putting out new episodes and content. To make sure you don't miss any episodes, go ahead and subscribe. Your thumbs up, ratings, and reviews go a long way to help promote the show, and they really mean a lot to me and my team. Want to know more about us? Head on over to our website, graceandeaseproductions.com, or follow me on LinkedIn, Facebook, or Instagram. Just look for Grace and Ease Productions on your favorite platform. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.